David, victory on Saturday at home against Newport. What are your final thoughts on what was an impressive game, really?
I think it's similar to after the game. I don't think they changed much. I watched it back as soon as I got in on Saturday night, and I think it was similar to what I said after the game, in the fact that we dominated the game for probably 55 minutes. Once Justin had hit the post, I think it's not that they got on top. I just don't think we were dominant like we had been for 55 minutes. So you could feel the momentum shift, away from us, if you like, back to sort of parity. They obviously get a goal, which does affect things. But I thought for the last 10 minutes, I thought we were sort of back to our best, if you like. And the goal, we've had a shot inside the area, it's come out, we've gone down the other side of the pitch and scored, and that's really pleasing. So we deserve to win the game. That's not always going to be the case where we win the game because we've deserved to. But the pleasing thing is that we're picking up the points when this performance is there, and if that underlying performance keeps staying in where it is and not dropping below that standard, then we will win plenty of games this season.
And that strength and depth, I think, was really shown, which you worked so hard to build over the summer with the substitutes combining, but Dara and Evan, and then Greeny tapping home that winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the substitutes that we've made this year have been really important. I don't think anyone can get away from that already. 3 games in, the changes we made at Harrogate were important. Got us a couple of goals, and the changes on Saturday helped get a goal. So I don't think anyone can deny that the substitutions have probably got us 4 points already. However, it's not about the substitutions as such. It's about everyone doing their jobs and maintaining that high level. And it's not about any one individual either. It was, Jamie Walker and Justin at Harrogate. It was, Ev, Reece Staunton this week. So it doesn't matter what player it is, what time it is. It's just making sure you play at your level and having a real good impact on the game. And whatever that happens, I'm sure the performance will stay high.
And a special mention, I think, has to go to Kieran Green. Obviously, with Rosie out of the team, he's been wearing the captain's armband, but as well as leadership, he's been offering goals and assists in his second season playing that more advanced role. You must be impressed with him.
Yeah, look, I think he's got 2 penalties, a goal and an assist in 4 games. It's not bad. We've challenged him to do more than last year. We want our 8s to have a real impact on the game in both boxes. So he's made a good start. That's all it is, a good start. It's 3 games into the season. There's a long, long way to go. And whether it's Greeny or Jamie Walker, whoever's in them positions, Henry Brown, then they know what the role is, they know what they've got to do. So, the good thing is, like I said, we were starting from a higher level once we walked through the door pre-season, day 1. We ended up at the end of pre-season at a higher level than we started the season last season. And that's sort of playing out on the football pitch as well. We've accrued more points after 3 games than we have after 6 last year. So we've got to keep it going. We've got a toughie tomorrow. But at the same time, if our performances are decent, then we'll give anyone in the league a game.
And like you say, it really is important to stress the mentality to the players that we can't get carried away going into such a difficult game as Walsall away.
No, the players won't get carried away. They won't allow it themselves, and I say they won't allow it. That's just not in their makeup. We pride ourselves on trying to get better every day. Keep saying it. The fans might even be bored of it now, but it's true. Whether that's Walsall or Accrington or even Manchester United, it doesn't matter. Get better every day. And we'll worry about everything else after that. Make sure the performances are good. Because if the performances are good, then the results tend to look after themselves, by and large. And last season as a guide, the performances early on in the season were sketchy and in a certain manner. So when we beat Gillingham away when they were top of the league, and when we beat Wimbledon away, they were played in a certain way. By the end of the season, we went to Walsall, for example, who were top of the league at the time, I think, and beat them, and Doncaster, who were top of the league, playing a different way because of the evolution and the development of the team. had moved on, and we've now got to keep that going. That's the name of the game.
What do you expect from Matt Sadler's side? Obviously, missed out in the playoff final last year. They're going to have a lot of hunger to sort of go one better this year, aren't they, and improve on what was a disappointing season in the end.
Yeah, look, they're a strong team. They're runaway leaders for a long, long time. You don't do that in League Two if you're not very good. Ultimately, it didn't end well for them, but they're a strong team. They're still a strong team. They were a strong team for 4/5 of the season, really. And I'm sure, like you said, they've got a point to prove to go one better this year. So, we know it'll be a tough game. They're a good team. They're still a good team. They were a good team last year. And we've got to make sure we play well. And if we play well, it should be a good game.
And they were victorious last time out against Barnet, 2-1 away. What do you make of how he's recruited this summer and how his squad's made up?
Yeah, look, they've done ever so well. They've brought in some good players. You know, don't get me wrong. If you're spending 75 grand on the centre half from Chester, you've got the majority of your team together already, because that's a decent number. But they've got some good players. There's no doubt about that. They've got lots of energy. The 2/8s run forward consistently and constantly, and we know how they'll play. You know, they haven't changed their way, and they're hard to stop. But you know, we had the answers once last year at their place, and we're going to have the answers again.
And you mentioned that will still be fresh in the minds of the fans, who we need to be bang at it as well in the terraces, don't we?
I've said the fans last year were amazing at Walsall, and I've said that they travel in brilliant numbers everywhere. You know, we sold out Harrogate, maybe it was 3 weeks before the game. I've no idea how many we're taking tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be slightly reduced because it's on the telly. But even still, you know, the home fans have been magnificent. The fans this year have been outstanding. You know, they deserve a huge amount of credit for turning up every game, even the Shrewsbury Cup game. You know, 3,500 was a really good number, and singing their hearts out. You know, straight after their goal Saturday, the fans are singing. It means a lot. I can't stress it enough. These aren't just words; that they're actually really impactful for the players from a psychological point of view, and the opposition. It's like we're not going to lie down here, and I think the fans have been rewarded and seen that in the performances as well. So, yeah, it helps. Without a shadow of doubt, and noisy backing helps. We've got to give them something to shout about. It's always on us first and foremost, but they've been terrific, and hopefully we can give them plenty to cheer about as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, David.